Hello, my name's Mark and this is my Dice Tales. Welcome to my vlog, and today I'm going to be talking about the terrain packs and the core set terrain that you get with Warcry. So that is going to cover the Stormvault, the Corpsewrack Mausoleum, and the core set terrain. I'm going to try and cover things which I don't think have been covered by other people's unboxing videos, and let's see, I'm going to quickly run down what I think I'm going to cover. So I'm going to cover what comes in the boxes, in that people have been asking about battle cards. You only get terrain cards, so that's the one with this scribbly face on. You don't get deployment cards with the X on, and you don't get objective cards. You do not get these. You only get the terrain layout. So that, and to me, that's not that important. I'm going to cover some of the good ones and the bad ones that I've seen, and that's really going to cover why I don't think it's important. You can set up the terrain yourself. Now, the core set comes with a nice big board like this. It's double-sided. Comes with this chaos green side. And can I flip it open? Oh, I can't flip it open. I can't flip it open live on camera. Nope, it's refusing that one. But this is a big one, and it's is that 2 A4 pieces. The ones that you get in the core set fold down much smaller, so if portability and travelability is for you, then the ones in the core set are quite handy to have. So the Sigma one comes with a temple, stone flagstone layouts. The Corpsewrack Mausoleum comes with a snowy graveyard. And on the other side of them, I think this one will be easy to show you, is the Chaos, the brown one, and that's what was on the other side of the core set one as well. So, cover the cards, what you're going to get. So, as I say, just a reminder, you're only going to get deployment cards. I've covered that the boards are different sizes. They open up to the same size, but they fold down smaller. And then, finally, I think it is what to glue and what not to glue. So the main one is these pieces, these steps. Do not glue them down to anything. The book would want you to glue them to the head like this. I can't remember the orientation in the book exactly. But unless you've got spare sets, you don't want to be doing that. These stand perfectly nicely, just balanced on. And sometimes they are balanced on walls like this, etc. That's the main one. From the Stormvault Sigmarite Museum, is these little stairs, and they come with an adjoining piece like this, and they do attach to make this nice little hill, or entrance to an underground vault of some kind, or raised plinth. But if you don't glue them, then these will sit nicely on your big hill terrain. They'll sort of go like that and give you a slight runway off the bigger hills. So keep these separate. Again, they sit together nicely on a table without being knocked, just as they are, and when that's resting on the other hill, it's great and stable as well. And finally, the judge may be out on this one, but you get these little plinths. I'll show you how that. So they'll sit on there like that. That's just how they connect. And it suggests that you maybe glue these pillars on top of them like that, so then they'll become one piece. You don't have to do that, they're fairly stable. I see it's wobbling just a little bit, but staying there on my shaky hand. But I like to think I could use these as scattered terrain as well, so I'm not going to be gluing mine for the time being. One not mentioned on other people's videos are these slotter ones. So, here's one I built earlier and glued with plastic glue, so it's now never going to come apart. I'm calling it a sort of an L shape. Why am I calling it an L shape? Because that's what I see. You can see that L shape thing. But they came originally like this, and this just slots into there. And again, when it's on the table, that is stable enough, and it's pretty much stable enough when they've got adjoining pieces coming off, etc. So for more variety with my second core set, I'm not going to be gluing these together. Just so, one, it's easier to store, because then I don't have this awkward shape to sort of try and fit in a box. And I just have more or less an L shape like that to store, and this bit can lie flat against it, so it gives me more room, more flexibility. From the Corpsewrack Mausoleum, some of the mausoleums come with bases like this. You can use those as their own little terrain pieces, a little bit of difficult terrain, tripping over the raised gravestones. Or you could glue your top on like that, but again, stable, it's not going to move, even has nice little grooves in it to keep it in place. But they're not out of place anyway. Keep these separate, you can have them all over the place, you can stick them on top of your Stormvault hills, etc. So that is that. Now, so I've covered that you do not get deployment cards, you do not get these, and you do not get any new victory conditions. You only get layout cards. And as I say, don't be too fussed about these, because some of them are absolutely terrible. The graveyard ones are all quite good, but the Stormvault ones, I mean, imagine drawing that. The tiny hill in the middle, 2 flaming torches, and 2 griffins. I'm going to put that back. It's a match play one because it's symmetrical, but I really do not want to play on this one. I'm going to destroy that one. Giveaway. Does anyone want to have this card? Comment below. I mean, there were similar ones in the core set which are pretty Spartan on terrain. This is one from the core set. It's match play, it's equal, but not much going on. It's much nicer when you have much more terrain going on. This is a match play one, so it's symmetrical in a way. It's not quite symmetrical, this one, but it is still match play. I like this one. 2 more not so good ones from the core set. So, you know, just a tiny hill in the middle and a little bit of cover around the sides. Some offenders from the Stormvault, just a hill in the middle. I've noticed now that there actually are 2 flaming bits and the small hill on top of the bigger hill. So it's one big hill in the middle, but you're not really going to be chasing each other around the hill. And then they have the gall to then rearrange the orientation of the griffins and call it 2 different cards. Ugh, it's horrible. Technically this one's got pillars on it. You need more than the Stormvault. You want something else for the Stormvault. The Stormvault starts to get nice when it becomes a temple in the centre of a ruined city or village, whatever. Abbey. Let's see what other examples we've got. The Corpsewrack ones are all pretty lovely. This one's a nice one. This one isn't a match play one, but tells a nice narrative story. That one's like a road with ruined buildings on either side and a sort of gateway in the middle there. Pretty cool. These are some of the simpler ones and not as good ones. You know, just 4 buildings and a spiky wall across the middle. Maybe if your arrow boys will be shooting across that. Gate in the middle, so if you want to really cross without trying to climb the spiky bits. Now, they doesn't mention anywhere. Now, 2 possible things that might be dangerous terrain. So Stormvault has flame bits, flamey torches. If you fall within 1 inch of those, is that dangerous terrain and giving you impact damage? And the Corpsewrack Museum is full of spiky railings. I mean, that's a lot of spiky railings there. So if you climb over those, are you potentially taking impact damage? Is it hazardous? It doesn't cover that, so it should be up to you and your opponent to decide. I do wonder how TOs will go with it, if they're having this terrain in their tournaments. I like hazardous terrain. I come from Infinity when we had all kinds of different terrain. Things that blocked your ammo going through it, things that reduced your visibility and accuracy. I hope to see more of that. I hope to see rivers, I hope to see ponds, I hope to see trees, I hope to see canaverous trees. The storybook, the anthology, has sort of vines that wrap around you and pull you in and eat you. So that's pretty cool. Here's a nice one of the Corpsewrack combining the core terrain. Nice big build up in the middle with level. So that gives you your 3D-ness when you're combining it. Your multi-level. And this one doesn't have any multi-levels, but I mean, some of these, if you have small hills or even the Sigmarite hills, just whack one of those mausoleums on a hill. It gives you a ranged vantage point for one side or the other. I think that would be pretty cool. yeah, so that's it. So I've covered, you get the cards, and as I say, don't worry about the cards if you've got the sets. I don't think you're really going to miss out by not having the cards and not flipping over the cards to set up the terrain. Really do make the terrain your own. Kill Team didn't... I really stopped using the terrain cards in Kill Team. It was too Spartan for me. Kill Team really needed a lot of built-up terrain. What I learned from Infinity was trying to do different densities across the board. So this one's a little bit different because the deployment cards have you coming on from all different angles, so it's a bit harder to do. But I tried to make one side fairly dense where you might have close combat warriors sort of wheeling and dealing, and maybe trying to dive from cover to cover. And then one side a bit more open, but not too open that a sniper on one side could see the entire board. Something nice and big in the middle to, you know, stop a sniper so people could go left or right. And there are certain places where you have an objective and it'd be advantageous for some units who are faster or climbing or flying to get over and over, whereas other units might have to go around. And there might be choke points. I mean, so make one half of your board sort of that choke point area and the other half of the board open, and then it gives your opponents a choice of whether they're going to move into this terrain or that terrain, and how it best suits their army, basically. That's what I think I'm getting at there. So don't be ruled by the cards. Ultimately, I see them as a gimmick. They're pretty to look at, and seeing all the different variations is quite nice, but gameplay wise, if you've got boxes terrain, just whack it out, make it fair. Not even make it fair, just you and your opponent agree that looks good. At the end of the game, if you think, oh, that hill there was a bit advantageous to you, you know, shift it for the next game. It's a lovely short game. That's one of the big benefits of Warcry. So if you make a mistake or you get wiped out, have that discussion at the end of the game and you know, move things around and try again. But ultimately, yeah, don't get stuck on these cards, because some of them... Where's that really, really terrible one? Oh, right, that one just upset me, and that's why I'm making this video. And also, yeah, Games Workshop, Warhammer, whatever you're calling yourself these days, those extra rules, that fluff, I love that in the Kill Team zones. That there's a little bit of a story, there's a little bit of fluff. I love that you get to roll a dice and it gave you, you know, anti-gravity, cadaverous plants, plasma conduits that will power up your weapons or do more damage or cause you to get burnt if you stood by them, or sewers where you could nip into a sewer tunnel if there's a tunnel cap there and appear at another one on the next turn. I miss that. I know you don't want to make Warcry too complicated, but I miss those extra details. But it's nice and it's all lovely terrain. It all fits together like Lego, and yeah, go out and have fun. Just ignore these cards. Thank you. Goodbye.